All right, so first I want to say thank you to Bruce and to Emily for organizing this session, and then for Brian for organizing the panel that I'll be on in a few minutes. And I want to thank all of you for being here today. This is really a great event. As Emily said, I'm Robert Rudnitsky. I'm a physicist at the National Institute for Standards and Technology, NIST, which is part of the Department of Commerce. I'm also Associate Director and Division Chief for Strategy and Planning in the NIST Office of Advanced Manufacturing. Today I'm going to discuss the recently announced notices of intent for an artificial intelligence for manufacturing institute and an institute for semiconductor manufacturing focused on digital twins. As you listen to my talk, I want you to listen in a really engaged way, by which I mean think about how your organization can potentially participate in these two new opportunities. Before I begin, I need to share a disclaimer that any of the information that I provide or any answers that I say are solely informational. They're pre-decisional, they're preliminary. They don't constitute a commitment by NIST or the Department of Commerce. They're subject entirely to final action by NIST and the Department of Commerce, and nothing is intended to contradict or supersede requirements published in any future publication or in the upcoming notices of funding opportunity. To summarize then, I'm a nice guy, but don't rely on anything that I say. So Manufacturing USA's work is organized around institutes, and each of these institutes is focused on a unique technology. They bring together people to solve challenges that are critical to industry. Typically, the work of a new institute starts with technology roadmaps that identify bottleneck challenges, and then in parallel, they quickly move to high-impact technology projects designed to move technologies into manufacturing production. The institutes are set up as public-private partnerships with participation by industry, universities, government labs, and other institutions. Each institute has two focuses: technology advancement and addressing the education and workforce skills gaps in their respective technologies. They typically start out with $70 to $120 million in federal funds, although the upcoming CHIPS Digital Twin Institute will start out with significantly more, but that's described in its notice of intent. That federal investment has to be matched by non-federal investments of at least that much and can come in a variety of forms, including funds, in-kind contributions, equipment, etc. In previous institutes, the cost share has been met by industry, private foundations, universities, and local and state governments. Today, I'm highlighting our plans for our newest commerce-sponsored institute, an institute that will apply artificial intelligence to tools for resilient manufacturing. So let me just start by asking, what do we mean by the resilience of manufacturing? What it doesn't mean is just agility, which would focus on marketplace adaptation, or on robustness, which would just focus on keeping things running. A fully resilient manufacturing system is a broader concept and can respond to a broader set of drivers. So for example, it can respond to extreme shocks. It can respond to, including climate change or a pandemic. It can respond to increasing efficiency, as well as increasing the ability to adapt and keep things going. It can also respond to improving life cycles for innovation and adaptation. So it's a combination of these things, and in fact, it's up to the people who propose to determine how to frame that. The goal here then is to, the thing that we're going to be looking for is that the Institute has to demonstrate a broad range of potential focus areas within its scope. And we've listed some potential focus use cases in the notice of intent. But I just want to clarify that those topics that are listed are for illustrative purposes only. Applicants are free to propose any institute scope that is within the broader topic of AI for resilient manufacturing. NIST intends to select the applicant team that is most capable of establishing and leading institute partners in a range of technology advancement and workforce-related activities. Applicants are going to have the flexibility to choose to focus concepts on a specific industry or a cluster of adjacent industries, with the exception of the semiconductor industry. And that's because the semiconductor industry is being addressed through the CHIPS Act programs. They may also propose to focus on an approach that's industry agnostic and advances cross-cutting tools that can be used more broadly. And I cannot stress this strongly enough, concepts developed have to avoid substantial duplication with the work of the existing Manufacturing USA institutes, including the upcoming CHIPS-funded Digital Twin Institute. So once launched, the new institute is going to fit into a larger network of currently 17 institutes that are funded by the Department of Commerce, Department of Defense, and Department of Energy. These institutes are, broadly speaking, clustered in 5 general areas. 4 of these institutes are working in the general area of digital controls and automation, and the 5th, SESME, is working in smart manufacturing for clean energy. As the new AI and digital twin institutes are launched, they're going to need to consider how they'll address the non-duplication requirement that I just mentioned. And they'll have to also look for ways to leverage the resources that come with the entire network of institutes. They can also learn from the startup experience of the institutes, while noting that the institutes were started, many of them, by trying to support the missions of the Department of Defense or Department of Energy. But one of the institutes, the Biopharmaceutical Institute, NIMBLE, also was set up, as this one will be, to support the commerce mission of economic prosperity and national security. Before moving briefly to the Digital Twin for Semiconductor Manufacturing Institute, I'll close my remarks about the AI in Manufacturing Institute with a reminder to keep watching for announcements of the funding opportunity, which are expected soon. So let me switch over for a moment and only briefly to the CHIPS for Manufacturing USA Institute. The expected competition for this institute is going to launch one very large Manufacturing USA Institute focused on digital twins for semiconductor manufacturing, packaging, and assembly, and the validation of those digital tools in a physical prototyping facility. This will be a single large institute with both regionally focused programs and meaningful cross-region participation in order to meet the CHIPS R&D needs to strengthen US technology leadership and accelerate ideas to market, and of course to build a strong semiconductor workforce. In establishing a single institute with national reach, CHIPS is seeking to enable the rapid adoption of innovations and enhance domestic competitiveness for the coming decades. I don't want to run too long here. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop there, and I'll just say, if you want to learn more about the CHIPS Institute, I encourage you to look at the websites that are listed, also about the Artificial Intelligence Institute. You can subscribe to our mailing list, and for the CHIPS Institute and more broadly for the CHIPS programs, I invite you to attend my colleague Richard Dwayne Chambers' talk at 2 p.m. tomorrow, also in this room. And with that, let me invite the rest of the panel here and ask Brian to join us.